Watch this video of a supposed giant spotted in Mexico. I'll weigh in after the video. Alright, so I'm sure I know plenty of people have looked at that and they'll say, oh, AI. The thing is, that video came out before AI was on the scene. Of course, CGI and stuff like that's been around forever, so it's not that you couldn't doctor video or make something fake before AI. But the reason I believe that that is actually real, which makes me sound like a conspiracy theorist, and I like conspiracy theories, they're interesting, but I don't believe all of them. This video I believe that's actually something that somebody spotted and filmed. And the reason why is because I was listening to Troy Brewer, who is a pastor, and he has a ministry where they rescue kids out of human trafficking. And he was down in Mexico several years ago rescuing kids, and he was sitting outside and he had a bunch of pastors around him praying for him. And so he's just like sitting there letting them do their thing, and he was looking out over the land, and he saw this big tree like out by itself, and he thought, you know, since I'm going to be sitting here, I'm going to draw that tree because this is like a pretty picture in front of me. So he asks his son to go get his journal or whatever so he could start drawing, and he said, next thing I know, I look back and there are 2 trees there. And he's like, I would have noticed that second tree for sure. And as he looks at it, it moves, and all of a sudden he sees arms and he sees legs, and he's like, what's going on? And then he sees it lean, like it's listening, like its ear turned, like it's listening to the pastors praying for him. And he knew, he's like, aha, that's not a tree, that is a giant. And so he just in his head, I don't know that he said it out loud, just kind of like in his head or out of his spirit, he's like, I see you. And he said, next thing I know, this thing I can tell is now looking at me. And he's like, I see you, and just so you know, I'm here on a mission from Jesus Christ to rescue kids, and I don't know what kind of authority you've had in this area, but that day came to an end because I'm here to get these kids out of here. And he said this thing got mad, and his son saw it too, and then I think a bunch of others did too, because at this point, like, I don't know who said what, but it's like obvious something's like going on. And so there are witnesses. It's not just his testimony alone, but he said it got mad and then went over he said a few steps and it was gone. It like went over the ridge. And apparently other people have also reported seeing a giant in that area, and I think just in Mexico in general. So that's why I believe that video, that someone actually filmed a giant, which, you know, if you read the Bible, there were lots of giants, lots of them. It wasn't just Goliath, it wasn't just Genesis 6, lots of giants. You had the Anakim, the Rephaim, like a lot of them. I think there are over 30 different races of giants mentioned in the Old Testament, and they're always evil, imagine that. So, you know, why would they be around still? That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know how old they are, if they're still around hiding out in caves somewhere on the earth, or potentially even underground. I don't know. Those are all theories, but I find it interesting.